Unit 1, Lesson 3, Our Landscape and Climate. Benchmarks. In this lesson, you will describe landforms and climatic regions of the Middle East, use maps and graphs, and apply mathematical skills to interpret social studies information. When you look outside, what landforms do you see? Is the land around your school flat, or are there hills or mountains? Is the school close to the sea or a river? Is the land fertile, or are you in a desert? When we look outside our school, we are having a flat land. There are buildings, there are roads, but there are no hills or mountains, there are no sea or river. And we are living in a desert area. Even though it's built city, but if we just move out of the city, then it's a desert area. So we are living in a desert area, and there are no hills and mountains nearby, there are no sea or no river nearby. The Middle East covers an area of more than 8 million square kilometers. If you flew across the region and looked down, you would see many different landforms. So here they have explained many different landforms. Like for example, the highest land on the earth is called the mountain. And usually the mountains are having these sharp peaks and they're very high. Then there are hills, which are also the high lands, but their peaks are not that much sharp, how much the mountains' peaks are sharp. Then we have plateaus. These are called the high flat lands. They are high from the sea level, but they are flat on the top. They are not like conical or like this. Then we have deserts. In deserts, there is sandy soil is there, and very less rainfall is there. In some deserts it rains very very less. um, in plain areas it rains and there is a soil is fertile, people can grow plants, they can grow crops. Valley is a place which is a low lying area between the two hills or the different hills, but it is a flat land between the hills. Waterfall is when water is falling from a high place, uh, maybe from the mountains or any high place. When it is falling, that is it is called waterfall. Usually in the mountainous areas, we can see many waterfalls. River is a long flowing river, long flowing water body. When the water body is flowing in the land, on the two sides there is land, and in between the water is flowing a long flowing water body that is called the river. Then there are lakes. Lakes are the water bodies which are surrounded from all sides with land. And then there is sea. Sea is large water bodies. Almost 75% of our land is covered with water. When it is open, then it is called ocean. But when it comes close to the land, it is called sea. Using maps to learn about landforms. This is the map. This map is called the physical map. In this map, they have explained like the countries are written and the colors denote the height of some place from the sea level. Blue color shows us sea or water bodies or maybe ocean. The darker the blue color, the deeper the sea is. Like this here, yellow color denotes the desert area, the greenish areas are plain areas, then the brown areas, the dark colors are showing us the height from the sea level. The darker the color is, the high place we can see. Okay, so we can see in Saudi Arabia here to the west side we have brown color. It means there are mountains here. And here on to the east side, to the right side of Saudi Arabia, we can see all deserts are there. Iran also has mountains and these are deserts. Then Afghanistan also is a mountainous country. If you see towards the west side of Pakistan, also these are mountains. And towards the north side of Pakistan, these are very high mountains. These are the Himalayas mountains. The highest mountains of the world are also located in this region. If you extend it here, then there are Himalayas. Mount Everest is the highest mountain on the face of the earth. It is almost 8,848 meters high. So, and the second highest is K2 in Pakistan. So these are the high areas which are showing us with the brown color. Okay, look at this map carefully. Can you see how it differs from the map on page 10? On page 10, we had a map that was called the political map. The map on page 10 is a political map. It shows the countries of the Middle East, their boundaries, and their capitals. The map above is a physical map. It shows the main landforms found in our region, such as rivers, mountains, and deserts. The colors on the map show the height above the sea level of different areas. Darker areas are higher than lighter areas. Blue areas are bodies of water. The landforms and sources of water in a region are very important. They influence the way we live, where we can live, what we can grow, and how easy it is to communicate and trade with others. So, water is very important in the life of human being or life of any living organism, because if we get the water, then it is easy for us to live in any place. So, water influence a lot in the lifestyle of people. Temperature. Temperature on maps are average temperatures for those 2 months. The average is an approximate temperature. To calculate the average temperature in April, this is the formula how we can calculate the temperature, the average temperature of any month. So average temperature is equal to sum of temperature of each day in April divided by the number of days, because there are 30 days in April. So we will divide the sum of each day, the sum of total April temperature divided by 30. Now in these maps, we can see there are two different months are discussed. One is January and one is July. January is the month of winters and July is the month of summers. So January, we can see there is a legend also given to us that these are the Fahrenheit. Below these units are in Fahrenheit, and above these are in Celsius or centigrades. So blue color shows us the cold areas, cold temperature, and this dark orange shows us the hottest areas. So if we see in this map in January, in Riyadh, it is like a yellow color. So from this legend, we can take a guess that it is between 10 to 20 degrees Celsius during the winter days, winter month of January. Like this, the other areas are also shown with the different colors. If we can see, this is only the dark orange color is not there because it is the month of winter, January. So only we can see this color is there. Even the hotter areas, the temperature will go from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. It will not go more than that. But if you see in the other map towards your right hand side, this is the map of July temperature, and in this we don't see any blue colors at all. Even the very cold areas are also till yellow. It means like they are from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, even in the very cold areas. And the hottest areas are denoted with the dark orange color here. For example, Riyadh, we have very high temperatures in Riyadh also in July. It means like from 35 to over 40 or even more than 40 also sometimes we record in Riyadh during the months of July. And other areas also like Tehran, if we see here, it is in yellow. It means like from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius uh, is the temperature in July. But if you see here in this map of winters, Tehran is a dark blue color. It means it is maybe uh, minus, the temperature goes in minus 0 to minus 10 and even further. So it means like it's a mountainous areas and it's cold area. Okay. In June, the average temperature in Riyadh is 35 degrees Celsius. In January, the average temperature in Riyadh is 21 degrees Celsius. Average temperatures in higher lying areas are lower than those in the lower lying regions. This is because temperatures drop as you go higher. This is why mountainous regions often have snow in winter. It means like how much higher we will go from the sea level, that much temperature will drop. Like the mountains, they are higher from the sea level. So as we move on upwards toward the mountains, and as we climb the mountains, the temperature will start dropping. It will become low temperature. And as we are moving downwards toward the plain areas, toward the desert areas, the temperature will rise. So low-lying areas are plain areas, and higher lying areas are mountainous areas where the temperature is low. Even in the summer also, the temperature is not very high. Rainfall. You have learned that temperature is an important part of climate. Now you are going to learn about rainfall. Rainfall is also very important in our daily life because it tells us the amount of water any area receives. So this map below shows you how many millimeters of rainfall on average in different parts of the Middle East during the year. Now in the previous page we learned about the maps of the months, but here it's about all throughout the year, annual rainfall. And how we can measure the rainfall, there's an instrument called rain gauge. We can measure the rain in millimeters in that rain gauge. Then again, average is taken out, that how much in 1 year average rainfall is in some area. And like this, these maps show us that how much rain has been recorded in which area. For example, again we see this key. This is dark um, orange color shows us 0 to 60 millimeter, then 60 to 120, and the highest is 360 millimeters per year per annum. So if we see our city Riyadh, we can see here it is in orange. Okay, so if we match this color with this key, so it means in Riyadh almost it rains from 60 to 120 millimeters per year. Like this, we can figure out that which is the area which receives the maximum rainfall in Saudi Arabia. So we can see here Abha, it receives maybe from 240 to 300 millimeters per year. And here also we have some blue area, but they have not mentioned it exactly, but this is also the part of Saudi Arabia. The map shows that most places have very little rain. The lack of rain and the high temperatures mean that most places in the Middle East have a hot, dry climate, and much of the region is classified as desert. So in Saudi Arabia, in Arabian Peninsula, most of the areas are hot and dry, and they are known as desert areas because there is very less rainfall and they are very dry areas. The lack of rainfall in our region makes natural water sources such as rivers and oases very precious. Rivers are those water bodies flowing from mountains or somewhere on the land, and oases are those places in the desert if we can find some water in somewhere and there is some greenery, the trees are there, some plants are there. So those small areas within the deserts, they are called oases, and they are very precious for human beings because in deserts water is not easily available, but in oases we can have the water. We channel water from rivers into irrigation system so that farmers can grow crops such as wheats, nuts, dates and other fruits. It is very important to conserve and care for our water resources. So the lack of rainfall makes it very precious in the desert areas. Water sources are very important. We channel water from rivers into irrigation system. It means wherever the water is available, the water is delivered to those areas where the farmers are growing their crops. That system is called irrigation system. When we are digging the canals and we are delivering the water from the rivers or wherever it is available to the plants and all the other things, and the farmers are growing food for us, which includes wheat and nuts and dates and many other types of fruits and vegetables, and all these things are grown. So it is very important for us to that we should conserve water. Conserve means like we should protect, we should not waste water. unnecessarily. We should not keep the taps open when we are using the water. We have to uh, protect it from being wasted and care for our water resource.